Well, let's try another. Okay. Hi, friends. Doc South here. Um, I, 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 I think it's no secret. Then again, I don't know if I've talked about it that much, but the wife and at least, well, I can speak for myself, and I think I speak for Sandy too. Nothing we love better than a nice train ride. Me, anyway. Boy, I'll tell you, nothing. I know. To me, it's a little slice of nirvana to see that old train pull into like Newark train station, just majestically there, all covered with dust from being on the road, and the engineer kind of got his coffee in hand, he's waving, and you hear the bell bang 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 as it goes through, and of course eventually the train stops, the doors open, people exit, and then it's your turn to get on. And usually there's a nice porter there or a conductor tells you, okay, yes sir, you got seat now, you and the wife, yeah, okay, seats number 32 and 33, about midway back this car, yes sir. No, who's next? And like that. And they always holler, well, the club car's up to the front. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. And well, you just, to me, just sitting down on that, getting into that seat. Usually Sandy, at least for a while, lets me have the window seat if we're in coach. And eventually, well, we take turns. We take turns. So most of the time she's happy just to, yeah, if we got the right seat where you got a fairly good long window, yeah, she's happy with sitting there in the aisle, but for the most part. And then, you're there for a little bit. They're unloading baggage, loading baggage, hopefully loading our baggage. And then all of a sudden, you just, if you got, it's sort of hard to notice, but all of a sudden, you just start moving out just a little bit, just like that. And faster and faster. Pretty soon, by the time you leave the exit to the station, you're already doing about 15 miles an hour. And before you know it, you're up to 100. Cool. And off you go. And it's fun, the things you see. It's funny, I remember once with Sandy, I'm yelling, talking to her. I said, well, we're on the right side to see the mountain I climbed when I was a kid. She said, what? Yeah, I said, yeah. When I was a little kid, I lived in a town called Island, New Jersey. And we had this... there was I remember my friend Steve and I, we found this cliff out along Route 27. It was just a little bit just a little bit southwest of Island. We rode our bikes all the way out there. Gosh, it was a long trip. We were about 8 years old, and we found this cliff, and we parked our bikes, and where our moms had made us sandwiches, we decided we'd climb that cliff and eat our sandwiches and have our drinks up on top. Huh? I said, yeah, man, we climbed. God, it took forever. It seemed, I'm describing this like those guys that just climbed, that mountain in Yosemite, El Capitan, in, less than 2 hours? I said, my God, Sandy, we were climbing and climbing. We fell a few times. Oh, my God. But we eventually got to the top. We had our sandwiches, watched the trains go by, waved to the engineer, and like that. She says, well, gosh, I want to see this cliff. I said, oh, it was an awful it was just so hard traveling, getting up to the top of that thing. Like I said, just clutching onto roots and hanging onto rocks and stuff. Scared to death we were going to fall. And, anyway, we come up to the area. I said, now watch carefully. Watch. Here, I see it. Oh, and it goes by. There's this cliff, and Sandy looks at it and says, well, that wasn't much of a cliff. I said, gee, I know that was the cliff. It was like 20, 30 feet high. She says, that cliff was about 8 feet high, if that. In fact, she says it's more like about 6 feet high. You guys took a half hour to get to the top of that? I said, well, we were 8 years old. God, it seems so high. She said, oh, great mountain climber. Yeah. She says, why don't you go get a coffee and get me a tea? Gee, be careful. It's pretty high, Go out, Yeah, watch your footing on the between trains, between cars. I said, yeah, yeah. Oh man. But you know, there was one thing we saw once on the train, and I pass this on to you because it's a question that's never been really fully answered. But we were riding down along between Trenton and Philadelphia. We were heading, oh gosh, I don't know, we were heading somewhere. Probably, I think maybe, oh gosh, Charleston, South Carolina. I think we were going to go stay there for a night or two. And so we had a long ride ahead of us, which was fine with me. And we're riding along the Delaware, again, north of Philly. And there's this area where you actually can sort of see the Delaware River. It's out there. There's trees. You're going through an area where people have, they have like their little fishing cabins and stuff. Yeah, it's like summer cottages. Some summer cottage. You're right next to the main line of the the north-south eastern seaboard line. So your house probably rattles about every 4 minutes. Some train going by. If not us, big passenger train. It'd be a commuter train or a freight, you know, or a work train. But there was this big line of trees. We were going. A lot of these homes are, you know, they got nice shade from these big trees. I would say maples or elms, whatever, but big trees, leafy trees. And it was as the buds were just starting to come out because this was like early spring. Early spring we were doing this trip. And I'm riding along. I'm looking at all the stuff. There's a nice junkyard there where they got all sorts of cool scrap iron, and then another line of these bungalows. And I'm looking, and all of a sudden I said, whoa! And Sandy says, what? She says, I'm not sure I saw what I saw. She says, well, explain it. I said, you weren't looking? I said, no. I said, Sandy, there's on one of the trees back there. Now the tree was about 50 feet high. It was a good tree, a big sized tree, leafy tree normally. Up at the very, I'd say within 5 feet of the top, on one of the uppermost branches, there was hanging from the limb, just draped over the limb, was a pair of blue underwear. Yep, blue underwear. And I said, did you see that blue underwear up in the tree? And she says, well, no. I said, big deal, blue underwear, what? I said, how'd it get there? She says, well, I don't know. I said, but it's how no one would climb all the way up to the top of a 40-foot tree and, you know, drop trowel, or be up there, you know, get naked up in the tree limbs. I mean, number one, that I don't know if a person could be up there. Those were pretty big. It was a pretty big set of underwear. You know, it was a lot bigger than I am. The guy probably had a 40-inch waist or bigger. I don't even know if it was a guy. It might have been a girl. I couldn't tell. We went by so fast, but it was blue, like turquoise. She says, turquoise underwear 40 feet up in a tree. I said, yeah, how did it? And it looked like it'd be too heavy for a bird to carry. And the wind, when would there be a wind so hard that it would blow underwear 40 feet up into a tree limb? And who the heck would climb up there? Says, my God, you're right. She says, I don't know. She says, maybe you should quit thinking about it. I said, but I don't get it. I leave this to you, friends. I mean, you certainly couldn't. About the only thing I thought of is you could maybe wad it up in a ball, you know, kind of soak it down a bit, wad it up in a ball and throw it up that high, and then maybe it would open up, and you could, you know, you sort of planted the flag, so to speak, up on that tree. Other than that, it kind of got to me. To this minute, every now and then I'll wake up in the night and I say, how in heck did that underwear get up there? Well, I'm just saying. No, I never seen anything like it since. I mean, I could see a model airplane. I could see, a balloon stuck up there. Now, maybe the guy sent him up with a balloon, and then somehow the balloon got. But why would you tie your underwear to a balloon? Well, I guess to get it up to the top of a tree and get some notoriety, you could say, I put that up there. That'd be a great thing to be famous for. Well, anyway, like I said, think on it. Yeah, if you got any idea, DocSouthShow@yahoo.com. I have absolutely no clue. Doggone underwear right up. Again, like I said, about 40 feet up, big leafy tree. It would have been hard to get around the lower branches. This was kind of up where the tree would narrow. You'd almost have to shoot them out of a cannon. And climbing up there, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I thought maybe a train, maybe, someone left, the trains are going pretty fast at that point. Maybe someone left a laundry bag on the tracks or something and the train hit it. And maybe that. But other than, I have absolutely no clue. Anyway, there you go, friends. Think on it. And I'll catch you later. God bless and, well, have a good day. All right. Keep track of your underwear, too. All right. Bye now.